to the world.
Island. A CIA undercover agent exposes Diddy and...
Girl, you won't believe what the FBI uncovered on Diddy's private island. They found secret rooms straight out of a spy movie and hidden cameras capturing more drama than a reality TV show. Word on the street is Diddy's so-called paradise might be hiding more secrets than we ever imagined. Forget everything you thought you knew about celebrity getaways. This story is next level wild. Buckle up, because this tea is asterisk scalding asterisk.
Another developing story as Sean P. Diddy Combs, another lawsuit being filed against him, this coming after the federal indictment in the recent weeks as he faces a lawsuit of more than 100 people and allegations of sexual abuse and sexual assault. The Texas-based attorney Tony Busby making this announcement earlier on today.
Girl, let me tell you, Diddy's Paradise Island is not what it seems. The FBI showed up, and what they found is insane. Secret rooms hidden from floor plans, cameras everywhere, bedrooms, bathrooms, even the pool. This place wasn't just a getaway, it was a hotspot for scandal. And word is, those cameras caught things so messy even the tabloids can't handle it.
Is involved in these allegations, and what details can you share?
Hey there, Andy. Yeah, Houston attorney Tony Busby says 3,285 people have reached out to him claiming to be victims of Sean P. Diddy Combs. And he says after some vetting, he is now representing 120 of those people who will bring civil lawsuits against P. Diddy. That's 60 males and 60 females, including 25 children. And I will warn you, some of these accusations are pretty disturbing.
Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or made the victim perform oral sex upon him.
It was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30 plus years.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs.
Now, according to Busby, several of the 120 people that he's representing have now spoken with the FBI. They are from 25 different states. Most are from California and New York, which is where Busby says these alleged attacks occurred. He also says that most of the victims tell him that they were given some sort of a drink, and it turns out that drink was drugged. They say they woke up with severe damage to certain private areas of their bodies, and they couldn't remember anything. But of course, Andy, Sean P. Diddy Combs is maintaining he did not sexually abuse anyone.
All right, some disturbing details, like you mentioned, a 9-year-old potentially involved in this dating back to 1991. Dominique, I do have to ask you, were there any victims there? Did they speak out at this press conference at all?
You know, actually, there were not any victims there, and I probably should have pointed that out. There were several people standing there with the attorney, Tony Busby, and they were victims advocates, and they were also, you know, some were attorneys, but there were not any victims there at the news conference.
All right, still very emotional, traumatic events, and these allegations very, very serious. Dominique, thank you so much for your time and your great reporting here on Live Now from Fox. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's continue on. Of course, we were listening into that press conference earlier on today as over 100 people coming forward with this lawsuit. The Texas-based attorney making this announcement earlier on today. Let's take you out to these remarks a little bit in full and listen into what transpired earlier today. And of course, we want to reiterate that viewer discretion is advised, as some of these details are very difficult to hear. Let's listen in.
They want to know who was in and out of Diddy's planes and his homes.
I'm savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Right. I'm guessing that all of that came from the pink stuff.
While he was cozying up to Hollywood figures like Harvey Weinstein, the Democratic Party. with his voter die campaigns for Kerry, Barack, Hillary, Biden, getting souls to the polls. For 2 decades, Diddy thought he was untouchable. But now he's had his house raided, tapes confiscated, and the feds are zeroing in on his flight record, fly in prison.
There are whispers of wild parties and explosive secrets on this island. Celebrities risking their careers, shady political deals, and billionaires in deep trouble. Unlike Vegas, this place keeps the evidence, and the FBI is all over it. They're uncovering hidden rooms and dark truths, pointing to a much bigger operation. The deeper they dig, the worse it looks, and this is just the beginning.
I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger.
A CIA undercover agent has decided to blow the whistle on some serious secrets. Now, the agent reveals shocking details about Diddy and Jay-Z's hidden activities. Wink, wink.
What you got to say now?
What is that?
What you got to say now? You ain't got shit to say.
Bro, is this another video of Diddy and Cassie? Bro, why is she hiding? Well, I understand why she would be hiding based off the video we saw at the hotel, guys, right?
Let me put your girl on the snap.
Now, according to this agent, Diddy and Jay-Z been leveraging their influence and wealth for some very dark purposes.
Okay.
From grooming minors, trafficking to abuse, you name it.
Buddy.
Do you think the feds took notice of that? And they, you know, at this point, they like, yo, we're going to crack down on Diddy?
What happens is that the police will bring in a CI and will use him like she was a $3 hoe.
Oh.
That's a confidential informant.
Sir.
They'll let you do crimes as long as you don't do no and stuff like that.
Right.
They'll let you go around and pay you. When I was in law enforcement, dog, they paid confidential informants $250 for revolvers, $500 for automatic weapons, $750 to $1,500
right.
for semi-automatic guns and rifles and machine guns and stuff like that.
Right.
Some confidential informants got payment like that. And plus, they get 8% of a case.
8% of a case?
8% of a case.
What does that mean?
So if they bring in about, just say, they bring in a case $100,000.
Okay.
That's 8,000, what's that?
$8,000.
$8,000.
Right.
That's 8,000. They bring in $1 million case.
Right.
$1 million case. That person is getting $80,000. I mean, like $80,000 on it. I think if you're talking about 8%.
Right. Right. It's 80.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say this: confidential informants get paid good.
Right.
But Puff was a millionaire. Him being a confidential informant, him getting money like that, it was favors. He been getting favors and been paying law enforcement people for years.
And those favors were obviously, hey, turn the other way as you see all my debaucherous activity. Please. All right.
To protect him?
Right.
You understand? To protect him? We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Everybody somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Right. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then, plus, he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me?
Oh, my God.
I'll give you this and that. Now,
so let me guess, the money dried up, and it's the reason why now everyone is coming at him?
That could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for an FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So,
I mean,
when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you. Like you hire lawyers. Those lawyers have police officers and people working for them and investigators. Those investigators were former officers. So all of them in the backyard in Diddy bed together.
Man, like, so many questions.
Bro.
Like, Gene, how did you know those prices like that, bro? How did you know those? You name them prices like boom and boom. And I'm like, off the...
I mean, he knows it because it obviously is real, right? The reason why he said he was an ex-cop. He knows how much people were being paid generally, right? And yeah, you cannot sway Diddy with $1,700. You can't move him for that or less. And keep in mind, that was the most amount of money that he mentioned, right? He's a millionaire, a billionaire now, guys, right? You can't move him. So yeah, you're going to have to do something for him if you want some type of information from him for something. Right? Like there's always been, some type of hip hop police out there, guys, that look through all of the lyrics in, a lot of these rappers' songs. And a lot of the times this is the reason why these people are getting arrested, right? Because they're singing about absolute crazy things that just so happen to be happening exactly how they're singing it, Bobby Shmurda, right? You get what I'm saying here?
Back of the head, like,
yeah, it was favors.
How you know them prices, man? And then, like, Gene, like, how long you been knowing P. Diddy been working for the feds? That's what I really want to know. And if you know that, what that make you, man? Because you know the prices and everything, bro. Like, I'm confused at this point.
You shouldn't be.
Like,
he explained it all.
My biggest question is, like, why now? Why wait this long to now start saying something when all this stuff is going on? Like,
clout?
That shit is confusing, y'all. I am confused. I am beyond confused. This man is literally saying P. Diddy been working with the feds.
Right.
Yeah, he been an informant or working with the feds. Like, what the heck? And all this stuff that P. Diddy been doing, they been knowing about. So, like, this is just blowing, like, speculations and minds, like, man, out the water. Because if that's the truth, man, that say the government is behind all this stuff. And that makes sense because then all this Biden flying in and busting in illegal migrants and all this type of stuff going on.
Well, the migrants are catching strays in this video, but I feel it.
Grady Jude down there in Miami, he said that the federal, policy about the federal government, might be doing human trafficking, and they got a investigation on them as well. So, like, y'all, man, it's in y'all face right here, bro. So y'all let me know what's going on with all this stuff, because at this point I'm confused.
You shouldn't be.
I'm confused, man.
Like, you shouldn't be. Open your eyes, your third eye, if anything, right? Like, pay attention to what's actually happening here. No confusion should actually be, in your brain currently. He just explained exactly why he knows, and how he knows, and what does that make him? It makes him an ex-cop, right? I mean, a lot of these celebrities do hire ex-cops or cops that are off duty, right? So those are their security guards. They're the best trained, the easiest to kind of catch, if that makes any sense. Not everything has to be, like underhanded or slimy. They're just picking up a cop that, would like to have some extra hours, right? Take care of their family. And that's how a lot of this is happening. Of course, they know exactly what it is, right? You can kind of see how he moves. He probably didn't keep this too much of a secret within his inner circle, to be honest, guys, right? No need for confusion, though.
I don't know what's going on. Is Gene, just saying this stuff? Because it's making a lot of sense. And, like, why is he saying it and exposing it now? This is my question.
100% is clout.
But hey, man, keep doing it, brother. Yeah, we did it all, man. Let us know all the information, because if y'all was hanging out with Diddy, either y'all didn't know he was working with the feds and he was an informant, or y'all police too. So, like, listen, y'all better be careful and start doing y'all research.
Now, these revelations ain't nothing short of shocking. Now, the agent describes how both Diddy and Jay-Z have been using their status to influence artists into engaging in inappropriate activities and accepting unfair contracts. Now, this just ain't about the music industry, man. This goes deeper. Giggity.
What? Bro, copyright. No.
Very disturbing to think about the level of manipulation and exploitation that's being described here. The agent also mentioned that despite these serious allegations, Diddy is still safe from getting arrested. Now, we don't know what the feds are planning for him or Jay-Z. Now, it was earlier revealed that both of them might have worked with the feds, which would explain a lot of things.
So now we have two people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you don't get away with human trafficking unless you give up John Gotti or something like that, and that's not what happened here. I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this investigation.
Wow, because there could have been
So then that for the most part, that says everything you need to know, right? Was Diddy some type of informant to the government? Most likely, right? Because if they have to hide it to that level within the government, where you don't even know whose house you're going at, right? Imagine that for a second. Then that means that they were scared that the information could leak to another department or agency, right? Because that means that Diddy was in fact associated with another agency. They know that. It's not new information to the government. If it was, then everyone would have known. It would have been public-private information, basically, to everyone in the government. But they were scared to death, basically, of releasing this information to anyone, because they knew it would somehow get back to most likely one of his handlers. All right.
A tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them. But that doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big
That's
favors.
the reality.
They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political and business figures.
And if you look at this report in the New York Post, you see it's a constellation of billionaires he's involved with.
Very similar to what Epstein was doing. And, you know, these guys get drunk with power, allegedly. You know, Diddy has said that these allegations are false, but they get drunk with power, and all of a sudden they lose their balance and what's right and what's wrong. And they're insulated, and they've got everybody telling them they're great. And all of a sudden, these civil suits come out. And the feds watch this. That's what happened with R. Kelly. It started with civil suits. Then HSI got involved. And they're the lead agency for human trafficking.
These civil suits are just like a silver platter for the feds.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
Take these guys down. All right, well, we'll see how this plays out. Chris Hansen, Takedown with Chris Hansen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jesse.
And what's crazy is this is, I think, kind of new, right? I mean, for the most part, a lot of these people are being involved with the concept of like moving humans from one place to another. Generally, is how that kind of works, or doing things illicitly with humans and kind of, you know, against their will. Let's say, right? I can't really use a specific terminology, but either way, it used to be taxes. Right? Like all of the big guys were always taken down by taxes, and now it's just like they don't care about that too much. Well, they do care, obviously, but not to that same extent, right? Let you move a human from one place to another, like through traffic, right? Then that's crazy. Right? They're coming after you immediately, right? That's how it seems like everyone is getting taken down now.
What's worse than secret rooms and shady parties? A surveillance system so advanced it puts the CIA to shame. Cameras were everywhere. Bedrooms, bathrooms, even by the pool. Privacy? Not on this island. These tapes didn't just capture celebs acting out. They exposed scandals that could ruin careers. Politicians making shady deals, billionaires breaking laws, even royals caught in shocking moments. The footage is explosive, and the fallout could be massive.
Because it wasn't the police, it was the feds, one of the persons who was with them. So you got to understand this, right?
Okay.
Suge Knight was bringing terror onto Uptown Records, had them scared. You understand? Had them scared. That's why Andre Herrera would hire a person like Bill Whitfield that was a strong dude.
I sneezed terribly. Let me run it back.
A person like Bill Whitfield that was a strong dude that didn't care about nothing and they would do his thing against somebody or anybody. Okay. He did everything to protect Andre Harrell. But and this is the situation, Suge was extorting them, and they thought he was using extortion tactics. You understand? Right. To get Mary J. Blige's contract right, to get Jodeci contract right. And it was this other person, I don't know, it was Jeff Red, I don't know who it was, but it was somebody else in Uptown Records that he was helping to try to get their contracts right. Because they wasn't getting no points, no publishing, they wasn't getting nothing but show money. You understand what I'm saying? So now, when Puff, Kirk Burroughs, that's the other person that was with them, they go up to the feds with all this paperwork, you understand? And I mentioned this before, you understand? They not only talking about the extortion stuff, they talking about how they trying to be made to have this what you call this promotion, this distribution thing.
Okay.
Here's the real twist. Some of those tapes are missing, completely gone. The FBI is scrambling to find them, and everyone's wondering who took them and why. Whoever has them is holding career-ending, reputation-destroying secrets, the kind that could topple governments or ruin lives. Was it a VIP guest, an insider looking for a payday, or someone protecting the powerful? And in the digital age, nothing stays hidden forever. Those tapes could resurface anytime, turning private scandals into public disasters. But this is just the beginning. The FBI is digging deeper, and what they're uncovering could shake Hollywood and beyond. Stay tuned. This story is far from over.
And which I'm finding out, they wasn't even going to be a part of it until later. But they was in fear, like they was trying to be made to be a part of this whole distribution thing that Suge Knight was trying to build up with Rockefeller, because it was Dame Dash, it was Irv Gotti, it was Jay Prince.
Jay Prince. It's the boogeyman, bro.
And
you be careful, nudging that man.
Jay Prince.
And Junior.
And Death Row. You understand what I'm saying? So now everybody wanna know who's this and who's that, and want to go back and say, yo, how do you know? It came from the horse's mouth. He said he got all the paperwork to prove it. Kirk Burroughs said it plenty of times, but nobody won't sit down with him. I mean, like, you won't get none of these, these radio stations and all this stuff like that to sit down with him. He said, I got the paperwork. He got files from the from the DEA and the FBI, all that stuff like that. He got plenty of paperwork behind this whole stuff. But people want to get on here and say, yo, because they not privy to the information, you understand?
What?
Directly from the people who was involved. And you get a person like me that don't give a damn, and I repeat it and tell it, oh, dude capping, dude looking for attention. No, it happened.
I mean, that's my opinion, right? I mean, I understand why you're doing this. You're having this long, lengthy conversation about, the ongoings behind the scenes with you've encountered, let's say, with Diddy, right? But here's the thing, bro. There is a motive of clout, though. There is, all right? And that aspect, in fact, cannot be ignored. Like, if Diddy is saying anything to kind of like give a rebuttal to any of what he is saying, then I'd add some type of validity, like some hardcore validity, right? But the dilemma is I haven't heard anything, right? But that also can be really smart coming from like a PR department by just ignoring it, because once you actually acknowledge it, like what Drake did in, Kendrick Lamar's The Battle, right? He acknowledged some bits and pieces of things, and now everyone believes every single aspect of what he acknowledged. So that could also be a thing here, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, right? Mentally, I'm just like, I don't know, bro. we can pretty much guarantee that there was something government oriented with Diddy, based off the fact that HSI had no interest in kind of divulging the information on whose house they were actually raiding. All right, that's important here. Okay, so we can kind of put that together. But the other parts of it, bro, if it's true, it's crazy. Okay, like this man was a menace. If it's true.
Now other people coming out talking about it. They're putting Jay-Z was a part of it.
Okay.
They telling their story, and it all is coincide what we said years ago, when we said on platforms before, when we said on your show before. So I can't worry about what these cats are saying. They doing it for the views, bruh. They doing it because they don't have nothing else to talk about.
All right.
Like I said before, they're going to look at this and make a show about it.
All right.
Keep helping that platform, Art.
Think the camera drama was big? Wait until you hear about the money. Those A-listers on the island, their luxury lifestyles weren't just funded by their careers. The FBI found a twisted money trail, millions flowing into shady places. Offshore accounts, fake shell companies, and financial tricks so complex they'd make Bernie Madoff look simple. It's a financial web, and the FBI is just starting to untangle it.
So Puffy told, but Jay-Z, I didn't know about that. So Jay-Z, he told too?
Said that years ago, man. Said that years ago. What are you gonna do? They're gonna do whatever. Yo, listen to me. They're the reason why rap in New York went down the drain. They made sure that these young cats didn't come up with platforms and didn't come up with situations. Like Jay-Z, let me tell you something. Jay-Z and
Jay-Z?
And it's funny. It's funny. We were talking about how Puff and Ja Rule was cool.
Okay.
But at one time, Puff was trying to trick Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. That whole weekend that he was with Sarah. The whole weekend they was in that hotel room. That day they was in that hotel room. All the way coming back on that G5 jet. He was trying to talk Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. But now him and Jay-Z is like freaking frat.
Freaking
crazy
frat.
how things work out, huh?
It gets even worse. Some of that money is tied to some seriously bad stuff. Think illegal activities that would make your mama blush. The FBI has connected the island's bank accounts to everything from drug trafficking to money laundering. It's like every crime show combined into one big messy scandal. And here's the kicker. Some of these financial transactions match up perfectly with those missing tapes we talked about earlier. Every time a big sum moves, another tape disappears. Coincidence? No. Word on the street is someone's paying big money to keep those secrets hidden. But it's not just celebs funding their parties. This money is coming from politicians misusing campaign funds, CEOs dipping into company accounts, and even foreign dignitaries playing fast and loose with government money. This island wasn't just a luxury getaway. It was a high-end laundromat for dirty money. The FBI is saying this island wasn't just about fun. It was a full-blown operation, a place where the rich and powerful could do whatever they wanted, spend freely, and hide everything from the world. But now, the truth is coming out, and it's ugly. And if you think the money mess is bad, just wait until you hear about the guest list. When you find out who was on this island, your jaw will hit the floor. The drama's just heating up.
Bro, who's that? All right, so guys, hold on. All right, my only thing here is there could be validity, but again, will we ever really know? Not really, unless it just comes out publicly and the evidence is just so damning that we all kind of come to the the state of acknowledgement to be like, listen, yeah, things are crazy. Right? He did all the things that are being speculated. But until then, I mean, how can we really, honestly, truthfully, kind of back any of this? I mean, it sounds super interesting to encounter, right? Again, do I personally think that he was kind of working with the government? Yeah, right, absolutely. And and I think right now officially solidified it. That moment of them talking about how even the people that basically worked in the raid didn't know the house they were raiding. That little bit of information just kind of made my wheels turn a little bit, and kind of realized that most likely, he was working with the government. But okay. Now, when it comes to Jay-Z, though, guys, there's been a couple of documentaries that spoke about Jay-Z's absolute ruthlessness in the music industry, right? So it doesn't surprise me anything music industry related, right? Oh, people were being forced to sign bad contracts. I don't think they were being forced. I'll tell you this right here. They saw money, they signed and took it, and they got put into some ridiculous 360 contract, right? That's what happened. 100%. I'm going to give you $100,000 right now. Hear me out. I'm going to give you $100,000 right now. But keep this in mind. Until your record sells $100,000, you don't make any money off of you. And a matter of fact, I'm not even going to give you $100,000. I'm going to give you $1 million. And I'm going to own you until you can pay back that $1 million. All the music you make, right? Everything. Let me recoup my $1 million, and then you can start making some money. So you better hope you make money fast. And and if you want me to reinvest in your next album, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna pay for all that studio time, pay all the airfare. I'm gonna do all that, right? That bill's gonna come up to like maybe $300,000. So I'm gonna add that to that 1.3 million. So I'm gonna own you for even longer, right? That's the record industry. Okay, you want to run absolutely from signing contracts. Like the longer you can stay independent as an artist, that's what you need, right? And luckily, we're in a time where it's actually a plausible thing to remain independent for a really long time. So please do that, right? Build your social media and just grind.
So there it is. Diddy's Island isn't a paradise. It's a scandalous playground where the rich and famous thought they could hide their dirty secrets. But now the FBI has blown the lid off this whole mess. And honey, it's worse than a bad facelift. The streets are saying this is just the beginning. If you think Hollywood is shook now, just wait. This story is about to hit Tinseltown like a Category 5 hurricane. Careers are going to crumble faster than a sandcastle at high tide. And those missing tapes? Girl, when they surface, and they will, it's going to be a tsunami of tea. In celeb world, nothing is ever as it seems, so keep your eyes open and your ear to the ground. This scandal is about to get messier than a toddler eating spaghetti.